back to Griffin. It's July morning, and the great news is today that our crops are ready to harvest. So we're just getting ourselves organised here, and we'll duck down the shop and pick up a harvester that we want to lease and set to and get the grain off. So first things first, we'll just get our baler sorted just over here because we want to get the straw off as well, and we'll duck down the shop. So the harvester, I've been looking at the harvesters, and we're spoilt for choice. We've got a bit to do, and the big ones are pretty expensive, so I thought we might try this just a little bit older mod. It still looks pretty fancy, but it does have a decent tank on it at 16,000 litres, so that should help us out. We'll get the larger or the top engine so that we know we're well set up, and we'll also, what have we got there? Wheel size, row crops we won't worry about. $400 different wheel choices. We don't need tracks, so I think we'll just go with something like so. Although they're expensive. What did it come with? Just standard. Let's just go with the standard wheel configuration. That makes a lot more sense. Beacons, yes. Numbers, no. Rear hitch, we do want. The pipe, 5.6 meters. Let's just go a fraction longer. Rear axis, and that'll just help us turn a fraction. And we won't worry about GPS. We'll just take it as it is. So the fields aren't that huge. So we want to lease that one for 11,000 or near enough to. Just let me check that I didn't manage to. No, we've got all of the settings correct. Oh, the ones that I think I want. So we've got that guy. Now we need a header. And I believe all the way over, I'd love to use the honeybees, but I think they're extravagant for our price range at the moment. But I believe these F series are the ones, the appropriate ones. And this just over 10 meters looks the business. So we'll just go with the standard set up there. So we'll lease one of those, and we're going to need a header trailer, 10.6 meters, so just over 30 feet. So if we come down to header trailers, we've got green ones, we do. 40 feet, 35 feet should be the business. Just over 30 feet, I think. So I think this one will be long enough, and we'll lease one of those as well. And that should be everything we need. So here we go. Now the other thing you'll notice, and we might get that up and running first, is I did pick up a contract. I couldn't pass it up. It's a cultivating contract on field 6, and my rationale was we'll happily put a worker on this one, and should in effect provide the funds to pay for the workers and the lease of the harvester for our field. So it's a pretty good investment, and it shouldn't take much time out of our day just to get this done in the background. Now field 6 is over here, so not far from the door. We get to it just down the end of the road here. Nice big piece of kit, this one. If we just give it a bit of a wide berth, we should be able to make around the corner here. Yeah, so we'll just get the one contract going in the background, and all will be good on the financials. A good idea to stay out of that culvert there. But the field we want's just up here on the left-hand side, so then we'll get things started and we can head back and get our fields underway. There's plenty to do. The grass field also needs cutting, so it really is harvest time, where we can get some silage up and running and get everything into really good shape. So we might use course play for this one because of the ditches and things that are around the field. So course play field work. The field we want is here. Target position is here. It's quite a big cultivator at 14 meters. So I think we'll do 3 headlands just to be safe. We'll do sharp corners, not that much overlap. There's nothing in the field. And that should be good. Yeah, that'll work nicely. And the starting point is over the other side, so we might look over there. And then pick it up. I'm quite excited to get the crop off our field. I'm particularly interested to see what the yield on field 35 is compared to the corn that we took off last time. So there's our starting point. We pop down here. Nice large piece of equipment, this one. Lined up the correct way. So you should be fine. Off you go. Let's go and pull that trailer out a little bit. Just make it a little easier to load. Once the trailer alignment looks correct, this feels quite responsive. That's not good. Oh, there we go. I was worried for a minute that we didn't have the right header, but that looks fine. Let's try and line it pretty much up. It's on. Good. Nice to be working on a sunny day here. It's been very wet in my part of the world and decidedly wintry for November. We still have the household central heating on in November. I can't ever remember. I managed to turn it off for a week, but just got too cold. So very odd things that our weather is doing to us at the moment. Not unique to our part of the world down here in Oz, but nonetheless a bit strange. So we'll get back up to the field and get this sorted. We're back at the field. So just turn this header trailer around and give ourselves some sort of chance to get it off without causing a mess. The wider track on here, this harvester field's fairly manoeuvrable. Worked all right. Do we need to unfold? Can I get around without taking out the trailer and the street sign? No, I cannot. So we'll just get started on the headland here. And everything should be set. First need to unfold the tool. I have unfolded the tool, I think. And I have. There we go. Just needed a second. What have we got with the straw swath? Yes. Let's just look up here. Now what I need to do, pause you for a moment, is put a worker on the tractor and use follow me while we get these headlands sorted to get our straw baled up. So size bales are we doing here? We want to turn on automatic drop. We want to turn on the baler and lower the pickup. And so you should be able to get straight onto the job. And if we control F, we'll just put you back to 40 feet behind so that we've got space. Let's try getting in the harvester from the correct side. We've got a worker back there. Turn you on. And with any luck, and we've cleared out an appropriate distance, we should have our man following along nicely, baling up as we go. The only thing we need to watch on the corners is that we keep going in a forward direction. If we back up, things get a little bit confused. So that just means we'll finish any excess we leave in the corners at the end of the field, but we'll get round 2 headlands. I'm looking at the... We'll have to stop after the first lap to get our... And probably get a lap and a half looking at that, or lap and a quarter. Looking at the yield we're getting. It's a very nice yield off this field. Just whip round there. But we'll empty the tank when we do that. And that'll give our man a chance to catch up. But it's a definite bonus to be back in and harvesting our own field. And if you look at the mini-map down there in the corner, you'll see we're getting a nice dark green, so a really good yield off here. The baler is coming. It's 9:45 in the morning, and so far everything is going very nicely. We only want grass off the fields over the way. The other thing that we could do, of course, and I've already forgotten what I said about lining up. So what we'll do here is a circle in this direction. I really didn't want to drive over the straw swath, but them's the brakes. And you can see, having picked the straw swath up, by the time I get to the second headland, that's how I can actually solve the corners to keep it all moving. But we've done 3 sides, almost 3 sides of the field here. The other thing we might want to do is head down, and we've got a little bit of dog assistance in the background. That would be Tito, who's getting excited at a conversation started by the neighbours. He likes a bit of a chat, doesn't like to miss out on the action. Quite happy to start the action if there's nothing going for a while. Not had much luck teaching him about the difference between inside voice and outside voice, although he helps having a working dog as a family member, because he's fairly intelligent. So he has figured out that we're not overly keen on him barking, so if he remembers and there's a ball in the vicinity, he will pick up the ball first and then bark, which muffles it fairly effectively. Quite entertaining. We're coming up to the end of our first lap. Our baler is working a treat there in the background. And one of the reasons I like doing it this way is I like driving the combine, but also, as you saw, no complicated course play setup, and the ability to just get it up and running, and as long as you keep your course, you follow. Simple. Why does that not want to pick that up? There we go. And then we can put it down. Maybe it's a quirk of this harvester can't actually pick the header up while it's running. It's not a bad thing. So the size of the swath, the baler we're using missed a couple of bits, but all in all, got most of it. And so the other thing we'll do when it comes time to empty, which will be shortly, is I think we'll head down the store and potentially pick ourselves up a bale trailer, given that handling these bales is likely to be in our future, given the nature of the farm. Whilst I can stack them on the flatbed that we've got, and yes, it does auto load, I prefer the realism of the Anderson round bale trailer, so we might lease one of those for a couple of days in the hope that at some point it will come up in a sale. Just about up to the point where we want to stop here. Turn you off for now. Where's our baler? Making its way. Just wait till you get your next one and we'll stop you when you've turned the corner. Just see how it navigates. I'm pretty sure I drove around that bale. And just watch this one. Get it sorted. There we go. Over the crop, not quite what I had in mind, but nonetheless. And so we'll stop you. And go and get the truck. Well, actually, we might get the mower started on the grass field because that job needs to be done also. It's all happening on our farm today. We won't pay much attention to this. This will just happen in the background over here. You can see there's a nice lot of grass on this field, so that will be terrific for our silage production. We've got plenty of hay. We've also got some grass to collect that I cut around the house the other day too, so we should be, I can't remember where the starting point of this course is. If it's in fact set up to the correct course. And it is, and it starts over there. We will drive over. There it is. And get this chap on his way. And we need to go down the shop and see if we can organise ourselves a bale trailer. If I'd thought longer about it before, Kevin could probably have picked up a bale trailer by taking this down when we went to organise the harvester. Looks like our cultivator's coming along very nicely on field 6. Now I could, of course, use follow me to have a worker on an offset, bring the bale trailer around behind, but I think we can pick up the bales much quicker if we just periodically stop. And in fact, we won't need to, shouldn't need to worry too much about collection once we've got the headlands complete. So this is just making sure we've got enough space to be able to proceed without too much interruption. And as you can see, it's a fairly speedy process. So bring the truck over and unload the harvester. We're just going to be putting all of the crop in our silo for the minute, and so that we can have a think about when the next best price is going to be and where we want to, when we want to sell. So also help us keep track of how much we've got too. Whilst these are only small bales, we'll keep a number of them for bedding for the milk cows, and we'll use some in our silage production, but I suspect we won't need much more than a trailer. So well, in fact, I don't even think we'll need a trailer full of straw. So we'll have quite a lot of these to sell as well, which is part of the reason for getting the bale trailer, so that we can take them down easily to the sell point and unload them. 2,500 for the day for the trailer. I think we'll easily make that. I don't know what the sell price for straw is. Let's have a look. Silage, wood, grass, straw, $60 1,000 litres. So 40,000 litres of straw. 10 bales will pay for the trailer. So let's get the truck. On days like today, when we've got lots happening, you know, if you think this is only our second harvest, and it's with the amount of work that we will get through in this day and the next one, it's starting to feel like a much bigger operation, certainly than our first year. And just by the amount of equipment we've got in use and everything that's happening. So I'll get you emptying out. We'll go back and restart our baler. Baler on. There we go. It should remember the correct vehicle. We're following the John Deere at 40 feet. 40 was probably too far, so right control and W will bring it up a little bit to 35. This is emptying out, and we can we'll wait for it to finish because it'll take almost a truckload. We could get the truck to follow us around as well, but that's probably excessive for the minute. We'll just continue cutting our second headland. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more. Top you off. Okay, the lineup's not wonderful. We'll stop in just a second. And the truck's full. Let's go. So these are oats. Thousand litres of oats. So the first observation is we're not going to get 100,000 litres of oats off the field. In the same way that we got near enough to dead on 100,000 litres of corn, so that would suggest first of all that corn is probably amongst the most profitable crops we could grow. Can just leave the engine running there. We're almost empty. Just 5,000 to go. So the single biggest advantage I find of GPS, which obviously I don't have here, is in this situation where it'll tell you exactly where to line up on your land to get the path through. But without it, we make do. We certainly can use the heading to be pretty straight. Crop level view. As the crop, as the cameraman doesn't get too close to the blades, we won't have a visit from WorkSafe. I might just do a pause here. It's a good prompt. Go and pick up some bales. Need to just concentrate on the ends at this stage. We can leave the ones on the side. That one without hitting that sides on my harvester. So there we go. Nudge him out the way. 60% done on the cultivating contract, so I think our worker over there is doing a fine job. We've only got room on the trailer for 2 more bales. There we go. And we can't get that one out. That's not too badly in the way there. We can probably send you down to Larson's because we're not going to be short of straw. One of the things we learnt was that the ute can't successfully navigate here with a full trailer on. It gets caught on a tree on the way. So it's okay. We'll still manage to get everything sold here, I think. So be sure that's around about where the sell point is. And it is 6,000. So a full trailer is worth 7,300, almost 8,000 to us. So as you can see, well and truly worth leasing the trailer for the day at 2,500 to make it quick and easy to get rid of those. Back here at the field, we need to empty the truck. We can put off picking up more bales for the moment. Well, actually, we need to empty the harvester first. So let's just turn you off for now. Making good progress through this. Cultivating contract is going well. It's at 83%, so that'll be finished shortly. The grass field I saw on the way past has done the headlands, so we'll be able to sort out picking that one up next time. So for today, we'll just get the rest of this field into the silo and just check how much crop we managed to get. Notwithstanding a little bit that I drove on just there. This is our second truckload. There's probably one more on the field, I'm guessing. It was interesting, the wheat we took off the other field, that was about 19,500 litres to fill the truck, whereas the oats are just over 20, so just accounts for the difference in weight. There's our mower proceeding over there. And what we might do here is use follow me in a way that I tend to use with smaller harvesters when I've got good cartage capacity but a smaller capacity harvester to avoid having to stop all the time. And it'll work here because there's still some in the tank in the harvester, so we don't have to wait for it to finish. But if we line up, I will show you what I mean. And if you're interested in different ways to use follow me, I'll put a link in the description, but I've done a little bit of a tips and tricks tutorial. So if we use follow me here and we get lined up behind the harvester and we come back and just go out to the left hand side here, I'm guessing it'll be about 7 meters, but forwards we actually want to position the truck so that it's just ahead. 7 meters, maybe 8 meters. Looks like the line. And we'll just jump in the harvester and move you out of the way. Why are you not running? What's going on here? I'm not in the harvester, that's why. Now I'm in the harvester. What's the truck done here? It's gone and got itself tangled up. So that wasn't a very good demonstration, was it? Meters ahead, 8 meters left. That's lined up. Let's try that now. Let's see what happens. Truck can't turn as tightly, which is part of the problem we're having here. Let's get you out of the way. It's not far enough to the left. So we want to move its off there, out there, and now we're stuck. We'll come back. Let's see if we can do this without causing a right old mess. Tracked around. No, the truck's gone and got itself stuck on the tree, so I'm doing a very poor description. I've not tried this with this truck before, and I'm guessing that the responsiveness of the truck, or lack thereof, and the wide turning circle is creating most of my issue. that should line up better. You got stuck on the road, so I left the field. There we go. Well, let's try this again. You should follow the John Deere. So now what we're looking for is the truck to pretty much follow along, and it'll lose us a bit in the corners, but then it should line up and take the empty as we move up the row here. So you can see it's gonna pretty much, you've just got to play with the settings to get it in the right spot. The bale should just be out of the way. And we've got finer tuning left and right than we do front and back, and it just takes a bit of fiddling around. We could probably go to -5 in front if I hold right shift and right control and then bring that offset back to 5 meters. That seems to be a good spot. So that was right shift and right control, and then S to move it backwards. If I'd done F, it would have selected the next vehicle. And now I just need to make sure that I don't turn in front of the truck. But as you can see, if I've got small hopper on my harvester and lots of capacity in the cartage vehicle, then this is a way to just keep everything moving. And somewhere along the line there I lost my my straw follower, which was just a bit of a shame, but we can pick them up on the next run because all three will happily work along here. And once you play with the separation and get everything lined up, it all works fine. So just something different. Follow me and get, and I like it because I can drive the combine. You've got to keep an eye on the fill, but you'll see when it fills up the truck. And part of the advantage of when you've got it set up is you don't have to keep it alive for every row. You can get into the new up and down, and it, as long as it's close enough to detect, the truck will in effect catch you up. See, like it is doing here. So it can't quite turn as tightly, but it'll find its way to that new position. And if I pause here for a second, go and grab our excuse me, go and grab our baler. Make sure I put the pickup down and turn it on. And then right, get in the arc that it'll, there we go. I don't want to follow the truck, I want to follow the harvester. Wait for it to connect. Off we go. And there he is. And I've just left plenty of room at the back there, but all three working in concert. So I think that's kind of a fun thing to do, and a little bit different, and very different pieces of equipment. So as I say, if you want some ideas on how some of this can work, you can have a look at the tips and tricks on Follow Me video that I did. But I think it's a bit of fun, just a bit different. And it means in practice we can, when this truck's full, in theory just send it off to the silo to unload, and we'll have an empty tank on the harvester so we can keep going, if that sort of efficiency is important to you. If it's not, there's nothing stopping you. We do have 2 workers running here, so you could very easily get back to 1. You could of course put the worker on the harvester and you can drive the cartage. There's so many different ways to play. That's the fun bit. Something thinks, oh, our contract on field 6 is complete. So we can go and collect that in a moment. We'll just wait till we finish the truck, because we're going to have to pause everything at that point. So just 3 more stripes here. So it looks like we'll have just over 3 truckloads of hay in the of oats in the silo. So just over 60,000 litres, which is quite a lot less than that corn that we got off here, and the amount of difference actually surprises me a little bit. Follow Me, if you're not familiar, of course, is a PC mod, so unfortunately not currently function that's available on console. I'm not able for a modder to do it because it involves scripts. That truck is getting very close to being full, I suspect. There it is. We'll pull that pipe in. We'll pause there. We'll pause you. Just finish whipping the crop off here. We've got at least 2 trailer loads of straw to go on this field, so we're going to make quite a bit of money that I hadn't counted for just out of the straw sale. So I guess we've got to factor that into the difference with the corn crop, because of course you don't get straw off the corn stubble. And if we ended up with, say, three trailer loads of straw, then that's the equivalent of another 25,000 litres of crop, or thereabouts. Let's see how we go here. We're going to have 5,000 or so litres by the end of this run. Put the clear of the end of that straw so that when the baler catches us, it's picked up a reasonable amount there. We'll turn you off. Put the pipe out. Let's go empty the truck. While that's emptying, we'll go across and finalize our contract. So 27,000 less the 4,000 because it was a big chunky equipment there, and we'll collect on that one. And there we go, the bank balance is back up to 55. Now let's have a look where we ended up with the oats. We're at 61,000 in the silo and another 5,000 still in the harvester. Best price is up at 1,200, so we'll have to do the calculation, and it looks like there won't be an enormous amount of difference between the effective yield. There is in terms of crop volume off, but in terms of value generated from the field, not a huge difference between the oat and the corn. It really comes down to what can you use the two crops for, I guess. Let's go and finish emptying the harvester. And we might check in on the grass, and that might be where we leave the episode for today. So just turn you off there. We can go and stop our worker on the straw. We'll come back and tidy up. But to finish the day with one field in, the leasing costs on this paid for the minute, and 55,000 in the bank, I'm very happy with. And it looks like our grass field is all finished and ready to row up and collect as well. So we've had a great day here. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, see ya.